Good morning, Ultimate Alchemists, and this is your little snippet for the month. So today I'm going to discuss duality of the physical realm. So I know my stuff is sometimes quite spiritual, so this is a little bit more of a spiritual one. So in terms of my belief system, and it can be very, very different from yours, but I'd like you to just think about this concept for a moment to just see if it brings up anything in your awareness, challenges any thoughts, any belief systems, anything that you might find interesting. So we are in physical form, and many of us believe that we have a spirit or a soul, something that is beyond just the brain and the neurons and the physicality and the heart, that we have an essence, that we can sense ourselves, self-awareness, and that in this body we can feel this self-awareness. We feel and we know and have a knowing that we are not just a bunch of cells. And from this knowing, we attach that to our spirituality. We say that's our soul or our spirit, that's who we are, that's our essence. It's divinity. We're that fragment of the divine energy in physical form. So whatever resonates with you, just give me a chance to explain my view on this and whether that's intriguing or interesting to you. So what I found is that I started getting the concept of, in this world, there are all these polar opposite and gradients thereof aspects in the world. We have north and south, we have day and night, we have up and down, we have left and right, we have masculine and feminine, we have hot and cold, we have winter and summer and autumn and spring. And so in all of these elements around us in this physical realm that we are in are these aspects of duality, one or the other. And then a gradient and degree of many, many different options in between, infinite possibilities almost of the gradients between where we reach different things. And some things have an ultimate and some don't. So in this physical form, we often also within ourselves talk about the duality, the head and the heart. And when we say, oh, that was a head decision or that was a heart decision, we're also almost separating ourselves into the duality. We also know within ourselves we can inhabit masculine and feminine energies or traits. Where I always see the masculine energy as the protector, provider energy for us. And it's the stability, the strength, the structure, the home, the secure foundation, that warm, solid rock that keeps you constant and strong. And the feminine energy is this beautiful mix of the spiritual, magical, mystical, creative, slightly chaotic, uncontainable, free side, emotions, love. And when you put them together and you combine those elements, you get this beautiful experience. So we are not so much in the suffering. And the ideal is to try and get us to not live in the severity of the polar opposites, but kind of navigate more in the middle of it, where things are more joined together than polar opposites. So when we combine our energies, that beautiful moment, which you also see in dusk and dawn, is that beautiful transition between the darkness of the night and the super bright heat of the day. And you have the same with temperature. There's a nice little Goldilocks happy medium in between. And I think the same comes from our experience. When we're in a lot of suffering, we tend to shift into polar opposites of ourselves. We're either going to the head or to the heart. We're going into aggressive or very passive. We do nothing, take no action, or we're very aggressive and confronting. So the idea is to see how you relate to the balance, finding that. But it's not just the balance, it's about living from underneath that. That's still part of the physical realm, but we can't get away from it. We are in this physical body and we are in the physical realm. We are in physicality. I have a cup, there is a drink in it. We are in the physical world. We're not just as we imagine in our dream world or in a dream state. We are feeling and experiencing in this world. So in the realm of the physical, with all these polar opposites and duality and up and down and left and right and hot and cold, why does that exist? Why is it so important? It's to create an experience where we can choose. What do we choose to do? What do we choose to be? Hateful or kind, or loving and inspiring, or contracted and small. And normally when we are contracted and small, we are withdrawing our energy, either high energy or low energy. And again, if people know me, my clients know me, I talk about the spiral, where the spiral is just ultimately a line where a lot of people are captured in the mundane part, the boring part, the grey part of the spiral, which is just get up, go to work, go to bed, get up, go to work. There's just the natural existence. And then the polar opposites of that would be in the light, which is flourishing and thriving and feeling great. And at the bottom of the spiral is more the stuff we hide from ourselves, our darker stuff, not necessarily bad, just stuff we are hiding from the world, not 100% happy about. It could be jealousy, anger, but those things give us the gifts in the light part of the spiral. So at the bottom part of the spiral, ultimately at the bottom is self-destruction, lack of love. And top of the spiral is reconnection to yourself and to source. And when you bring them together, that's when you get the combination. When you realize the stuff that happens in the dark, or in the stuff that we reject or we don't like, or that is the catalyst for our change, the feeling that drives us to saying no more, it is to get the gift on the other side, on the opposite side again, in the light. So when you start navigating all of this, it's a good way to look at what are your choices in life? What are we choosing more of? If you want to shift something, look at what is the opposite of what you are experiencing. If you are feeling low and depressed, the opposite of that would be to do something energizing, something uplifting, something higher frequency, higher vibration. If you are unhealthy, you might look at your food. What kind of lower vibration foods have you been eating? Stuff that's drawing you down, that's chemical laden, that's toxic, that's not good, causing you inflammation. What is the opposite of that? So it gives you a nice gauge of how to get to a state where you're thriving, because ultimately we're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive and have an ultimate brilliant, beautiful experience for our soul to feel good, to enjoy being in the physical realm with all its ups and downs, like music, right? It's not just a constant. And when you see this beautiful dance between figuring this out, sometimes we have to go into the severe darkness to remind us that we can choose the light. We can choose a different experience. We can choose a journey going up, back to feeling greater. So I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about my concept of duality in the physical realm. How are you experiencing duality within your relationship, within your parenting, within your health, within your job, money or lack of, or affluent or not, and health? And sometimes it's to balance all of those becomes interesting in life, because you often see people, they're super wealthy, got everything, but their health or their relationships or their children, relationship to their children isn't great. Or you have someone who's got fantastic health and amazing relationships and the best kids, but they have no money. So you have all of these things, and ultimately it helps to guide us back to the safe space, the solid space of the divine. And that's when we connect and we live in a different way in this world of duality. Please comment or message me. I'd love to know what you guys are experiencing in my theory of duality.